My son went missing back in summer. He's been on epilepsy medication his entire life, and there's severe ones that have to be ramped up. And if he's not on his medications or they're taken away from him immediately, then it can cause psychological issues. And he ended up going missing for several days, and we had no clue where he was at. We kind of, through tracking him, through police, talking with other people, found out that he was out in another state. But we still weren't able to find him. And in that scenario, what ended up happening is we got in with the wrong kids, then a couple of them got kicked out. And my son was one of those. When they took him out, they dropped him off at the bus stop. They didn't give him his medications, and they didn't let him have those. So what ended up happening is my son ended up getting onto another bus and ending up in Little Rock, Arkansas. And when we called the police department, they're like, there's nothing we can do. He's an adult. I need help through the Job Corps. Hey, he's an adult. He's on his own, which I understand that. But at the same time, I've got a medical emergency here. I need help. Steve was able to call the San Marcos Police Department and explain what the law is and explain what they needed to do to actually help file. And lo and behold, roughly about 16 hours later, they found him in Little Rock, wandering. They had no clue where he was at. He was hallucinating. He thought he was with his mother, who lives in Houston. Malnutrition. He'd been robbed. He'd been beat up. And he was basically homeless and wandering around without anything on him except for the clothes on his back. And here's where the organization came in. And again, it was very, very, very close. Had they not filed the missing persons, hadn't that not been filed, the police probably would have just, they said, we were going to let him go. And, that would have been it. There's no telling where he would have been from there. I would never have known it. The officer would never have called me, and I would not have ever got my son back.
On June 13th this year, 2023, we were notified by Leanna's family that she was missing from her home. The family notified us that on the 9th of June, she had gotten into a car with somebody they didn't know, and left in an unknown direction, and she hadn't returned. When she didn't come home Monday is when they started thinking a little bit more about it, and on Tuesday is when they called us. So ultimately, we evaluated all of the factors and circumstances that were reported by the family, and realizing that we were going to need help from outside partners, we decided to reach out to the Texas Center for the Missing and see if what we had was enough to obtain an Amber Alert. So from the first time we spoke on the phone, I spoke with Steve Benfield. He's been a tremendous help through the process. He asked us a lot of different questions, asked for a lot of information that he needed to evaluate. And after sharing it with him, he said that we had enough concern and requirements to activate an Amber Alert. So we were fortunately able to find Leanna in Kansas City, Missouri. Being in the South Houston area, Galveston County, obviously several hundred miles away, several states away, we were very fortunate. Sure, it's a force multiplier. Hitchcock is a small agency. We have a total of about 20 officers. And we don't know what we don't know. So being able to reach out to industry experts and people who do this on a daily basis to help us do our jobs better frees up the resources we have in-house to be able to conduct the investigation. And we allow the center to help us put the word out. So local government funding can only do so much. Small agencies like Hitchcock and those in the Galveston and Houston area, we only have so many resources. So the resources that we're able to partner with, such as the Texas Center for the Missing, are invaluable in being able to bring cases like this to peaceful resolution.
Texas Center for the Missing's vision has remained the same since we began in 2000. We are here to walk with families during the darkest moments of their lives. Our staff are on call 24 hours a day doing the most rewarding work we will ever do. Despite zero government funding to support our local Amber Alert and Silver Alert systems, TCM staff tirelessly answer the calls of families in crisis. Our team educates the public about how to keep children and endangered adults safe online and in the real world. And when the worst happens, we are here to help bring them home. Texas Center for the Missing has a mission to bring hope and healing to the missing and their families through crisis intervention, prevention, and community education. Thank you all for joining us in our common goal to reunite families. Your partnership means you have chosen to be the key to bring them home each and every day. Because of you, Texas Center for the Missing is here 24 hours per day, 7 days per week, 365 days per year to answer the call of searching families and the investigators who serve them. With your help, we will continue to bring them home.